Today we will look at lines 5 and line 6 of the Athanasian Creed. Here's a rubric, everything we're looking for, as always. Alia est enim persona patris, alia filii, alia spiritus sancti, sed patris et filii et spiritus sancti una est divinitas, aequalis gloria coaeterna majestas. And there we have it. The very first word is an interesting word which we'll get to in a minute. Don't worry. Est we have seen many times before. No point in parsing it again. It's just easy. Is enim is our word for for. You can never remember whether that's a conjunction or an adverb or something else entirely. Maybe I'll put a note. Maybe I won't. For is alia persona patris. Persona we saw previously right there. Here we had an accusative plural feminine. In this case we have nominative, singular, and still feminine. Looking after that we have patris. Patris comes from patris, or pater patris. Normally patris is not going to be the nominative. I can't actually think of a time when it was a nominative. There's something clearly wrong with my head. So genitive is our option here because this is the third declension, and it is singular and masculine. Of father. However, in this instance, we know that the Athanasian Creed is speaking about particular individuals, so an article is appropriate here. For person of father is alia. Now, if we take a look further ahead in 5, we see we have 2 more alias. When we have alias in multiples, we have to treat them different than we would if we found only one. These mean another or other by themselves, but when we have them in a line, not all of them can be other or another because the first one would not have something to be other to. So we can't have other, for other is person of the father, and so on and so forth. In this case, we have to treat it as the word probably one would fit the best. So that's what I'm going to write down here. For one is person of father, alia, should probably write that down too. This is going to be a feminine, singular, and also nominative, because it's being linked between persona and alia with est. So it has to also be nominative. Est cannot link things of 2 different cases. Moving on. Alia, we have the same form here as we did there. So this is going to be in reference to persona. We would assume est persona in this instance as also in this instance, especially because we have a repetition of genitive there and genitive here. We have the long I, so genitive, singular, masculine, another, of the particular son, another, spiritus sancti, in this case is going to be spiritus sancti, both of them together, genitive, singular, masculine, of the particular, holy, spirit, or ghost, period. 4. One is person of the Father, another, person of the Son, why is there an E there? Another, person of the Holy Spirit. The other way that we could say it is we could put persona patris before est. I've found that often that is actually what you want to do. The second nominative subject with est is actually the one that we would put first in English. You could do it either way. Moving on to 6, but, which is not spelled with an S. Patris et filii et spiritus sancti. All these are clearly the genitive, singular, masculine again. Una est. Una est divinitas. Est has to connect 2 nominatives. If it were an infinitive, then we could take 2 accusatives as its subject if it needed. So both of these have to be nominative here, the 2 objects being connected. So nominative, singular, feminine, which is that A right there. And divinitas, we have our AS ending, as, atis, of a 3rd declension, just as we had beforehand, way up here with Trinitatem and Trinitate and Unitate. These are all of the same family of noun types. So, nominative, singular, feminine, again. Now, note that we don't have anything with these genitives right here. That means we have to assume a owned object. Now, it could be una, in which case we would say, but the one of Father and of Son and of the Holy Spirit is divine, or is divinity. The divinity of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit is one. Or we could read it as, but the person of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit is one divinity. Now, the second translation doesn't make as much sense, since it was just said one person of the Father, another of the Son, and another of the Holy Spirit. Why would then the Athanasian Creed say the person of all three of them is one divinity? Instead, we should probably take it as either una or divinitas as the object of these three. I could be wrong in that, but that's how I'm going to treat it. But the of the Father and of the Son. I'm running out of room. And of the Holy Spirit is one. And this would be drawing a distinction between the individual persons of the three and the unified divinity of the three. All three together are God, but each is his own person. Moving on. Aequalis gloria, coeterna majestas. Now, aequalis is an adjective. It's aequalis, aequale. So this could be either a nominative singular masculine or feminine, or a genitive singular masculine, feminine, or neuter. Looking at gloria, gloria is gloria, gloriae. So this can only be a nominative singular feminine or an ablative singular feminine. Now, this adjective needs to modify gloria. So it has to match this in case, and this has to match this also in case. While this could be ablative, aequalis would have to be either aequale or aequali. I don't remember which of the two that this adjective would take. So ablative is off the list for both of them. Only nominative matches between the two of them. So nominative, singular, feminine, therefore nominative, singular, feminine. Now, there's a second option for how we could take this now that I've already written down my initial answers. It could be equal with glory, but then we would expect co-eternal with majesty. But as we take a look at majestas, majestas is of the as, ates, noun types. So this is not ablative. It would have to be majestate. So, treating this as an ablative, though an option, equal with glory, I do not think makes the most sense. Besides, I think equal actually takes the dative if it's got something that one is equal to. So, equal glory. They're all feminine still. And there we have it. Now, from verse 5. 4. One is, correction. 4. Person of the Father is one. Another of the Son, another of the Holy Spirit, or Ghost. But the divinity of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit is one. Equal glory, co-eternal majesty. Thank you very much for joining me. Farewell.
What? You're still awake? Why are you still here then? You should be reading a book. Or if not reading, you should watch one of these other videos. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. See you next week.